Hey guys, I'm staying with my bros, and in 16 days, I'm moving off to live on my own and start a degree in computer science. But here's the thing about college. It's insanely expensive. 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are just starting off in college do not have the money it takes to get through a 4-year degree. As I've gotten closer and closer to my move-out date, I've been thinking more and more about how I can manage my finances in a place where I will be on my own for the first time, and I think that's the same for a lot of people in my situation. So in the midst of all that turmoil, all the situations I'll be subjected to, I need to make sure that I can keep control of the one thing that will help create a better future for myself. The past few days, I stumbled across a ingenious idea to help manage my finances during this new phase of my life. Before we get into that, let's talk about why it's crucial to manage your finances in college. In a time where I'm transitioning to the college life and I am completely financially independent, it is important for me to have a good grasp and control over my income and outcome, as I make money and as I spend it. It will be up to me to get a job so I can eat, so I can, go out with friends, so I can do my hobbies. But amidst all of this, I also have to pay for school, which of course is the main thing. It'll be up to me to make sure I don't dig myself a hole so deep with student debt that it is impossible for me to get out of it. And I want college to be fun. I want it to be a good experience. I don't want to be completely stressed about it the entire time, just every second being like, oh, how much money do I have? I want to be prepared and assured that I'm doing the right things that'll help me throughout this next few years of my life. And at the same time as that, I want to be able to make it a good experience. I want to be able to go spend some money on going out to eat or going to a movie, but at the same time learn to control my impulse spending. And I want to start my retirement funds. They say during your 20s is the best 10 years of your life to invest. Gives you a whole extra 10 years of compound interest. But students face a lot of financial burdens and challenges that are extremely hard to overcome when you don't understand exactly what's going on, such as like tuition, textbooks, rent, food, very limited income. Many full-time students can only work so many hours a week, maybe a part-time job at most. Many students get credit cards for the first time and don't understand how to properly use those. There's social peer pressure, like I said earlier. People invite you out. I want to be in the position so I can say, yes, I can spend $10, $15. Many students struggle with not understanding proper money saving techniques, and because of this, they're forced to take out student debt with really high interest rates. Here's where I'll introduce my tactic for controlling the financial side of things. A few days ago, I went to the bank and I opened a checking account. I already have a checking account, so now I have 2 checking accounts, but they're for exact opposite purposes. One of them is for essentials. This will be things like food, rent, tuition, textbooks, things that I have to buy for school. And the other one is discretionary spending, which will include things like streaming services. For me, Spotify Premium, going out to eat, movies, the social side of my financial situation. I want to be able to fund my hobbies like robotics, gaming. With the way I prepared myself financially, I'm not really going to need to worry about the financial side of things as much. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going to go blow $100 every week. Everything will be carefully calculated, but it's not going to be a worry that I'll have. Now here's why I think you should have 2 different checking accounts as someone in the situation that I am. For me, when I see $200, $500, $600 inside my savings account, whatever my latest paycheck was, I try to get all of that money out as soon as I can, because if it's in my checking account, it makes me feel like I can spend it, even though I know I shouldn't, because it's in there, because it's hooked up to my Amazon account. I spend it. And so what I have been doing before I got this checking account was I've been moving essentially all of it I can to savings, which has been working very well. I've saved over $15,000 through high school doing that. But one thing that it's done that I haven't been as good at is when I want to have some spending money, say I give myself $50 from a paycheck, I'll leave it in my checking account. What I have done is I've kept $100 in there for gas, so I'll have $150. So I'm, going out and spending it, whether it's food, if something off Amazon, a game. I go through that pretty quickly because it's my allotted fund money. But because there's not exactly $50, I will often overspend my fund money budget, which eats into my gas budget. With this new technique I'm trying out, now this $50 will go inside my fund money checking account. That means that if something is $50.01, I cannot buy it. Card will decline. And if yours won't decline, it'll overcharge you however much your banking overcharges for overdraws. So doing this helps me understand that yes, I can spend this money without remorse. And no, everything on this debit card is survival. If I spend this money on a brand new game, then I'm not going to be able to eat next week. It helps me avoid the temptation of overspending on non-essentials. Now, having 2 different checking accounts can help in many different ways. Like I said before, it just makes that initial separation. Say I give give myself $20 a paycheck. I will move exactly $20 into my side account. And every single time I go out pay at wherever I'm going at, I will need to decide which card to pay with. Is this a necessary expense? Say maybe I'm buying a textbook, then I'd use my first checking account. But if I'm at McDonald's, then I would pull out my second card. This prevents overspending because you will literally just run out of money. There's nothing you can do. And it's insanely easy to track. With my banking app, it allows me to see all of my accounts. I see my 2 checking accounts. I see my CD with 10K in it, and I see my general savings account. I can click into my 2 debit cards and I can see every single transaction that goes on. Every single day, I check where my accounts are at because I always need to know how much money is in there. Right now, I'm buying stuff for college. The other day, I got a water bottle. I got 2 laundry hampers, and I can see every single one of those transactions on my app. So I would highly suggest to see if your bank has an app itself. Additionally, I can save for both categories. Say I want to save for a trip I'm going on, and say I need to save up $500. In that account, I can save up $500. Say every paycheck I give myself $50. Every single paycheck, I'll move that $50 in, and I can slowly grow my fund money. With my other account, if I need to save up for my rent payment, then I can do that. I can slowly amass the amount that I need to pay rent. Saving in any way, shape, or form is good. It helps grow your saving muscles, and that's something you really need to succeed in college. Being more in control of your spending helps stop instant gratification. While I do love some instant gratification, overall, it's not a good thing. I have bought things on Amazon 3 in the morning and woke up thinking, what did I just do? With this method, even at 3 in the morning, I'll know that, oh, I only have $5 in my spending account. I can't buy it. Now, my ultimate goal that I hope that this new technique I'm trying out will help me achieve is I'm leaving home with $5,000 in my savings account. My ultimate goal is to come home with more than I'm leaving with. I'm leaving with $5K in my savings, but I do have $2,914 in scholarships per semester. I'll be doing 2 semesters. So tuition is $2,346 per semester. So that leaves me with $568 of tuition left. And I'll use that to pay my rent, which is $1,068 per semester. So that'll leave me to foot a bill of $500. So I'm estimating there'll be another $500 of necessity spending on top of that per semester. So approximately every 3 months, I'll be spending $1,000, and there's nothing really I can do to negate that. So total spending of $1,000 that I'll need to pay. If I can get a job for $9 an hour, work $15 a week for 3 months, that's $1,620. Say we subtract 20% for taxes, we're left with $296 in extra. If you've heard of the 50-30-20 rule, you might know that that stands for 50% necessity spending, 30% fun money spending, and 20% investing money. My goal is to get that 50% as low as possible. I'm hoping to get it down to around 30% of my average income. Then I'll switch around the percentage amounts for fun and investments, and then add that extra 20% that I took from necessity to investing. So that'll be 50% investing, 20% fun, and 30% necessity spending. Pretty much, for the next year of my life, I have exactly mapped out what my financial goals are. Because of setting such specific goals, I know exactly what I need to achieve them, pretty much down to the dollar amounts. I am overestimating how much I will have to spend per semester, and I am underestimating how much I think I'll be earning. But I do that so I can strive to hit those numbers I've said earlier, but I will exceed them because of how I almost lied to myself intentionally. If you don't set specific goals, then how can you hope to achieve anything? With opening a second checking account, I opened that believing that this will help me move toward those end goals. So maybe the 2 checking account doesn't work for you as well as it works for me. Figure out what works for you and then apply it. One thing that can help is when achieving your savings goals, treat yourself with fun activities or eating out. And that is something that I will be doing. When I hit a big milestone, I'm not going to be afraid of a good time while I'm at college, and this will allow me to. And if you're still a little lost, here's pretty much what you need to know. You need to understand your expenses. I pretty much know exactly what I'll be spending my money on, down to the dollar. Set realistic allocations. I prefer to overestimate rather than underestimate, but figure out what that looks like for you. Automate transfers. Say you're trying to save a certain amount of money, whether for fun or for something you need. Oftentimes, banks will allow you to automate those transfers. So say every month you're putting $50 into your savings account. Say you get paid on the 16th. On the 17th, you might be able to get your bank to move that $50 automatically. That'll remove it completely from your mind, and that way you won't have to think about it, and you won't even have the choice to not. And it's important to review and adjust. While I I have an exact plan of what's going to happen, things might change. And the only thing that we can do is be prepared for them to change. Prioritize future you. I was working full time while going to high school, and I would get up for school at 6 in the morning, and then I'd get home from work at 11:30 at night. I'm not saying that's what it's going to take, because that was a lot of work, but I knew that in doing that and putting in the work, that would allow future me to have more freedom and learn from your mistakes. No one's perfect. I've made purchases that I regret, but the only thing you can do is learn from them. You could try using budgeting apps or spreadsheets to help track your spending if your bank doesn't offer a good way to track them. Working so hard over the past year and a half has taught me a lot about financial literacy. It's even with that experience, it's going to be hard to resist spending extra money, whether it's something on Amazon that I really want, or say my friends are going out and they're inviting me, but I don't have the money. I've missed out on things because of the way I've structured my budget, but I think it's been worth it. Even if my plan completely fails, I still have all the money I'm going to need to make it through my 2 semesters because of the savings I've backed up. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any experiences, comments, or questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. If you like what you've heard and you'd like to support us, our Patreon is down in our description below. Any support is greatly appreciated, whether it's like, subscribe, or Patreon donation.